Hello, nature freaks.
What's going on?
Dave and Jeremy here. Today we're going to be doing a product review of a company called Grub Terra. Now, Grub Terra specifically harvests black soldier fly larvae. They were kind enough to send us a large sample of these soldier flies, and we are going to be feeding some of our omnivores and insectivores and just give you an honest and unbiased review of what we think about their product.
Yes, this is going to be a fun video. We're just going to throw some of these grubs in front of some hungry faces and watch them hopefully devour them. If they don't eat them, we'll tell you that too. And we may or may not be trying them ourselves because why not?
You just set us up.
Yeah, so we're gonna put the company name in our description, and also they gave us a discount code which we'll throw in there. You guys can get 10% off the entire website. So they make feeders for reptiles, fish, and chickens. A lot of chickens love these, and you can get them in the live form or the dried form. So I think it's time to feed some animals, see what happens.
Let's do it.
Nature in your face!
All right, guys, here we have our bucket of grubs in their little KFC containers here. So before we get into the feeding, we want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about the company and why we think they're very cool.
Yeah, so not only do they make cool feeder insects for reptiles, fish, and birds, but they're an environmentally conscious company. And this is probably the coolest thing, I think, besides the feeders, is they go to supermarkets and restaurants and they take the leftover food waste that's gonna go bad, it's going in the garbage, and they collect that, and that's what they use to feed their feeders. So they're upcycling, recycling, they're preventing waste and food just from being thrown away, which the US is really bad about food waste anyway. So it's really cool to see a company doing something about that.
For sure. And you know, this is pretty incredible. For every 100 pounds of grubs grown, it diverts 2,000 pounds of food waste entering landfills. That's a ton.
That's epic.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So we really love what the company's all about. And I say, get some grubs and start feeding the animals. All right, guys, here we go. We're gonna feed our first contestant, El Guapo, the Mexican spiny tail iguana. Let's just throw some grubs in the bowl and let's see what happens.
Yeah, so normally this guy destroys superworms. He's never had these before, but he's not shy. As you can see, he's getting right in there and he is destroying these
look at
things.
him, he's loving them.
Oh, they look juicy too. He is smacking away.
That's pretty awesome. Now, the one negative about these that we were already talking about was the fact that they're very small. This is a lizard that's going to grow up to be considerably large, and once they get a certain size, you would have to feed 1 million of them to them. So, you know, you can only feed these lizards when they're young. Yeah, so I guess our review for the first animal here, the spiny-tailed iguana, definitely loves these grubs, right? So let's move on to the next animal and see if they like it as much.
All right, so our second contestant is the devourer of anything that moves, Mrs. Sheila, the eastern box turtle.
Just like the spiny tail, seems like she's really enjoying these grubs.
What I love about watching box turtles in general eat is they have a face of like a hawk, and just get like that eagle eye.
That beak.
And they zone in on that anything that's moving, and they're like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah, and they have no manners. They just look at that stuff all over the face. They're just biting them in half.
Yeah.
But yeah,
she likes it so much she's getting multiple croutons at a time.
Nice. So now this is an animal that's not going to get bigger than what it is. So the grubs are definitely something we can continue to feed the box turtle throughout its life. So that's really cool. Unlike that spiny tail where you got to cut it off once they get bigger. Not with the box turtle.
Not only do they wiggle and animals do like them, but they're super healthy for them. Compared to a mealworm, they're a lot fattier, healthy fats, and they're packed with protein, which will help small animals put on weight and just create a varied diet anyway.
Yeah, according to their website, there's 75 times more calcium in these grubs than there are just your standard mealworms. 75 times, that's a large amount.
Yeah,
so
that's an important element for the animals. So,
okay, let's move along to our leopard geckos. Leopard geckos, insectivores. So we're gonna throw some in there and see how these guys react.
Yeah, and they do eat a lot of mealworms. So this is really cool to switch it up, give her something that's higher in calcium, higher in fat, especially the juvenile here. They're growing quickly. They need to get that fat store in their tail. So this is really cool to kind of pump them up.
All right, another thing I like about these is they're soft bodied. Unlike mealworms, who kind of have that external exoskeleton, which is a little bit more difficult to digest, These guys are soft-bodied, and I think easier for them. So who knows? Maybe that's a bonus for the leopard gecko. I don't know if he feels the same, but
Well, as you can see, the leopard geckos, they're enjoying this. They love it. Obviously, the fact that they wiggle around, they can do the
pick
worm.
up that movement and just
just
jump
kind of
in.
roll around.
Okay, the next animal we're going to be feeding is going to be a little bit more tricky. This is a tree frog.
Kermit.
Not only a little shy, Kermit the frog here.
Well, look, he seems to be locked on here, which is
Oh,
usually a good
looked.
sign.
He turned his head. That means he picked up the movement, but I don't know how
Movement
long we have to
equals
wait.
death when it comes to the white tree frog.
Nope, there he goes. He jumped right into the ball head first. I don't know, did he get one? It looked like he missed on that first one.
Looks like me eating ribs. Just diving in.
All right, there you go. He definitely got some there. Look at that. Look at you can see him. You can see him chewing them now.
Yeah, he's gonna need a wet wipe.
Right? He's not really chewing them, but what they do is they open their mouth up and down. It kind of works the insect
The
back.
eyeballs, they just jam them down.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching the animals eat. I think the animals enjoyed eating. So we're gonna give you our honest review / opinion on what we think of these feeders. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I think and we mentioned this earlier, it's not really a negative, but you can't really feed these grubs to your larger animals. But if you have smaller animals or juveniles, I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to feed these grubs to those animals. I give it A+.
Yeah, I mean, I like the soft body that we talked about earlier, so very easy to digest, no outer casing there, and the fact that they are, chocked full of protein and fat. And speaking of that, I actually was reading that the soldier fly larvae are higher in zinc and iron than lean meat, like steak.
And more calcium than in milk.
Yeah, more calcium than milk.
So guess what that means?
Yeah, they're actually considering these as a meat alternative for human consumption. So
Well, wait a minute. Are you saying we should eat these?
I think we should try it out.
All right, listen. They're not going to believe us. I say we get up, we get close to that camera, and we put and we put them in our mouth and we eat them. We're going to eat them for you guys.
Okay, well, I'm going to put my mouth near the camera, so that's
Yeah, here we go. All right, look.
super
There's the grub. I want you to see it
man.
moving. There he is. They're moving. All right, you
This
ready?
is not my idea.
Here we go. Huh?
Oh, it popped in my mouth. That's disgusting.
No.
Don't do it.
No!
I spit it out.
I swallowed mine.
Oh,
You win. Gosh. It did, guys. It blew up.
It does not taste good.
That's
At
not
all.
like a,
That's
how do I
right.
describe that? Like a,
This is the face of regret.
it's got like a pepper taste or something. Some kind of like spicy taste.
It does kind of.
All right, Grub Terra, thank you guys
All right,
so
yeah.
much for the grubs. I think we deserve another 1,000
Get the
grubs for eating one.
get
What
the
do you
code for the 10% off in our description. And don't eat them. Don't eat them.
Well, what do you? I ate
Let your
them. You
animals.
didn't.
Woo!
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Nature in Your Face.
See ya.